guys, a little bit of work and the wing panel is on. This is definitely gonna add value. So let's get this in the car and then we're gonna check out what this can do. What is this called? Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another episode from Salvage Nation. My name is D, and if you're new here, please go down below, smash that subscribe button, make sure your bells are on so you don't miss out when I post another video on this build or any of my other builds. Also, if you don't know, we're dropping videos on this build. This is a budget 2010 Audi A3. We've done a lot of work and I'm dropping content on this build every single day this week. So you won't want to miss it, so make sure you subscribe. If you remember in the last episode, we went ahead and we reassembled some of the stuff, but what you didn't see, what I did off camera, is I went ahead and I taped on my front bumper. The reason I taped it on is because it's missing the grille and it was missing the passenger side wing, and I couldn't put the passenger side wing on in the last episode. When I tried, I realized that I needed some little brackets, and check, I've got the brackets right here. This little bracket was on the broken wing, and I don't know why, but if you're in the game and you know, on the Audis and some of the VWs, they've got these little brackets that are riveted onto the wing, and when I bought my replacement wing, have a look. When I bought this replacement wing, it's missing the brackets 1, 2, and 3. It was quite late last time, so I went ahead and I've got them off the broken wing, and now I'm ready to replace these onto the new wing and put the new wing on the car. I need to get some rivets. I still haven't got rivets on yet, so for today, just to get the wing on the car, I'll be using screws, but at a later date, I'll replace those screws with the correct rivets. We're making great progress on this build. Remember, I bought this car, 700 quid. I bought all the parts. I've told you all the prices of the parts thus far. I'm going to be dropping gems, prices, how to do this, how to do that. And remember, my budget on this car is 2K. I don't want to go over 2K, and I'm well under budget. The more I finish under budget, the more profit there is, and I'm going to be showing you guys everything. So let's get the brackets on the wing and get the wing on the car. I went ahead and I fastened the brackets onto the car so that I know that they're in the correct spot, and I've got a mounting point so that when I put my wing on, I know exactly where I need to put the wing. With the mounts in place, I was able to fit the wing, and I had my reference points. I was able to use a few screws to make sure that they stayed in the correct position. I went ahead and I fastened up all the rest of the screws around the wing and the bumper and made sure that everything looked nice. Alright guys, a little bit of work and the wing panel is on. Have a look. I've just secured it at the top with a screw right there, and I don't think, it's not going anywhere. I'm not going to be driving the car. So once the stores open up in the morning, I'll get some rivets, do that all down. Fasten down all the screws, one there, two inside there, and one at the top right at the back. And the headlight bracket just pops into a hole right there. But yeah, have a look, everything's lining up. Once I put the screws in, that gets fastened back to that. That's gonna tighten up that gap. I'm happy with that. If you remember in the last episode, I had an issue where when you start the car, the fans were coming on. And I was asking if any of you guys have any ideas. Well, someone's reached out and told me that if it's had frontal damage, double check if the ambient temperature sensor has got any damage as well. And if you have a look right here, that's the ambient sensor. This measures the external temperature in the atmosphere and tells the car, and the car can make some decisions off that. The wire for that was actually broken, and that was causing the fans to be constantly on high because the fan computer didn't know the external temperature. And obviously if it's hotter temperature outside, the fans blow faster. If it's cooler, then the fans don't come on as often. So I went ahead and I've repaired the wire under here. When you start up the car now, the fans are off, and I think the fans, everything is working. Before, by now, the fans would have been on high blast, high blast, high blast, but the fans are not on high blast, and everything's working fine. I've left it to warm up off camera, and the fans cut in, and then they go off, and it seems to be working okay. So I just wanted to update you guys on that. This is some sort of a turbo sensor. I can't remember what it's called, but I went ahead and I just copied down the part number, and I got a replacement right here. So the next thing we're gonna do is literally just remove 1, 2, 3 screws, put this bad boy in, and see what happens after that. Guys, if you're enjoying this kind of content, stop right now, go down below, hit the like button. If you're watching this and you're not subscribed, smash the subscribe button and make sure your bells are on. Let's continue. Have a look at that, guys. Completely broken. Just, it's a mess. There is the damage, and luckily I've got the replacement. Alrighty guys, sorry I had to put the camera down. It was a little bit fidgety to fit this sensor. It's got this spring loaded, I don't know, little dangly bit inside, and you've got to really be quick, so I had to put the camera down. Sorry, it's just me alone today. It's some sort of a diverter valve, but I've replaced it. That seems to be working, and I know this is broken, but I've cleared out any debris and I've just put it on for the time being because I reckon that was just open, and that's the intake for the air, and it goes through the turbo, the blades and everything. And I'll prefer to have this dodgy filter than have nothing at all. So I'll just leave that there for now. But the engine is running nice. I'm happy with the engine. This is going to be a lovely little car. It's going to make someone very happy. It's a 1.4 turbo. Have a listen. You can even hear the dump. It dumps all the air. Listen. So that's all good. I've got no issues there. Like I said, I have to wait until the replacement bonnet comes in, but have a look. The front of the car has come together really nicely. And this car is in a drivable state. Obviously, I wouldn't drive it on the road like that, but it's in a drivable state. And that's the name of the game. I'm happy with the work that we've done so far. I can't do anything else today, so I'm gonna pick up the video once I get new parts, but it's gonna be the same day for you. I hope you're enjoying the way that I'm laying out the content for this build, so stay tuned. And I'll catch you guys in a few days once I get more parts. Guys, it's midnight. We got the donor car. It's just arrived. Let's go check it out. Guys, it's super late. Like I said, just gone midnight. Got a donor car for this build, but I'll explain more in the morning. So guys, as you've just seen, last night I took delivery of this 2010 Audi A3. It's a mirror copy to mine. However, it's a breaker. The engine on it is gone. And the way I got this car is, if you remember in the last episode, I found out that I bought the wrong bonnet. I mentioned that to Akil, we were just chatting about it, and he told me that he's got a guy who's breaking one of these same cars. The guy's got lots and lots of Audis. So we went down, we had a little chat with him, we got a really good price on this car. And it means that I've got all the parts that I need to finish my build, and then I can sell the rest of these parts to make some money back on the parts that I had already bought. So let's go check out the breaker, and then we're gonna take the parts that I need from this and get my car completed. Let's check it out. So guys, have a look. The first thing that I wanna show you is the bonnet. This is the proper bonnet that I need for the facelift cars. It's in excellent condition, so I'll be removing that straight away. Have a look at the engine. It's a turbo diesel, but the engine is completely gone on it. It's got a crack in the block. There's no oil in it, so we'll be gutting out that, getting rid of that. Another thing that I need is the front grille, so I'll be taking that. I've got my lights and I've got my S-line bumper. This is not an S-line. The interior is in good condition. I've got a nice full cream interior. I'll be selling that on eBay as well, but I'll give you guys first dibs. If anyone wants this interior, once again, find me on Instagram at @salvage_nation and drop me a message. I'll be taking out the dashboard and I'll be fitting that into my car. Now, the really good thing about these is, if you look, the dashboard is half cream and half black. But I know that these panels actually separate off of the black section, and then I can just take the black section for my car and I can replace it with the panels that's already in the car. But I've got a driver's side airbag, I've got a steering wheel if I need, but my steering wheel is good. And check it out, this car has actually got the official Audi Navigation Plus system, but I don't need this one because I'll be fitting my 10-inch system from ATOTO, and I'll be doing that in the next episode once I replace this dashboard. But have a look at the car. All the doors are in good condition, alloys are in good condition, I've got the boot, I've got everything right around the car if I need to replace anything else on my car, and I am just happy because now this build can really power through. Guys, like I said, I'm only in need of the front bonnet, the front grille, and the airbag kit. If any of you guys want any parts from this 2010 Audi A3 8P, drop me a message on Instagram at @salvage_nation. and we can sort something out. So enough talking about all of that stuff. Let's get the parts that I need, get the car in the garage, and continue rebuilding my 2010 budget Audi A3. Right guys, so I've gone ahead, I've got my Audi A3 back into the garage, and check it out. I've gone ahead and I've removed that lovely new bonnet off the donor car, and I'm gonna be placing it onto this car. But before I do that, if you remember, in the last episode, I said that I'm gonna be replacing these screws on the wing that I replaced with the correct rivets. Well, guess what? I've got my rivets right there. I've got my rivet machine. So I'm gonna make sure that that is secure. I'm gonna line it up a little bit, and then I'll be fitting that onto the car. So let's get that started. I had to loosen up the brackets to make sure that the holes for the rivets would realign with each other. Once they were all lined up, I popped the rivets into the hole, and I used the rivet machine to compress the rivets to make sure that everything is securely fastened. I repeated this process for all 3 brackets, and then I made sure that the wing was nice and tight, and that was it for that process. Guys, take a look at that now. Everything is lining up just that tad bit better. I still have some work to do here, still have a bit of work to do there, and I'll be lining up this wing as well, but this is the correct bonnet and it looks great. So there you have it guys, I've got my correct bonnet on. Tell me how you think that is looking. Tomorrow, I can go back to the donor car, I can get my front grills, I can get my fog lights, I can get my fog light grills, and I'll be doing a bit more lining up, making sure that everything looks nice before moving on to the interior. But I'll be changing out the dash and everything on the interior in the next episode. But for now, have a look, it's quite late, so I'm gonna catch you guys in the morning. With my bonnet fitted, I turned my attention to the front grille that came on the breaker car. I wasn't happy with the condition of it, so I thought I'll tear it apart and give it a nice little refurb. Because I'm doing this build on a budget, it's all about maximizing my profits by maximizing the value of the car. So guys, have a look. Someone has gone ahead and done some very shoddy work trying to add super glue to the Audi badges. If you're gonna do it, just do it properly. So I'm gonna be sanding it flat with my, what's this called? Never mind me. I went ahead and I cleared off all of that rubbish super glue and made sure that I prepared my surfaces to take the paint. I used the Grille pad to scuff the surface, getting rid of any muck, dust, and it also keys the surface so that the paint has got a nice rough but yet still smooth surface to adhere to. I've given the grille a nice clean and a scuff with my scuffing pad. I'm still going to go ahead and clean it with some liquids as well, making sure it's nice and clean so it can take the paint. But I went ahead and I've got my Audi badges from the broken grille that came with the car. I'm going to be taking that out. Why buy new badges when you can recycle the ones that came on the car? There's nothing wrong with them, obviously the grille's broken, and to match this look I'm going to be going with a gloss black on the grille. I'm going to leave these nice and chrome. However, this chrome surround, I don't want this to be chrome, so I'm going to give this a nice scuff as well, and I'm going to be painting this gloss black to match the rest of the grille. Then we can get that into the bumper and get the rest of the car ready. So let's do that. I went ahead and I repeated this keying process to the chrome surround. This is important because the chrome is very smooth and you really need to get a good keyed surface so that the paint has something to adhere to. If you look closely, you can see the tiny little scuffs that I'm referring to. They're called the key marks. After repeating that process for a few more times, I went ahead and I used some compressed air to get rid of all the residue from the sanding process. This This gave me the perfect surface to lay down a few layers of black paint from a rattle can. And this is something that you guys can do at home as well. So I'm doing this on a budget, and I'm showing you that even with old broken parts, you can still turn it around and make it look nice. With the spraying process well on the way, I went ahead and gave each layer about 15 minutes to dry. In between each layer, I went ahead and got started with removing my blown dashboard. I've done a few of these, so I was able to do it quite quickly, whilst also adding more layers of paint and lacquer to my grille. With the blown dash removed, I went ahead and I also changed out my driver's side airbag, which is held together on this Audi steering wheel by two Torx 25 screws. I made sure to plug in my demisting sensor and also the third speaker that's hidden in the top of the dash. Guys, all that's left is the boring stuff, so I'm gonna finish off all of this off camera and I'll catch up with you when I'm ready to install this 10-inch touchscreen system from ATOTO. I've been looking forward to this and I hope you are too. It's gonna transform the center console on this car and it's gonna give it a whole bunch of extra features. So let's get on with that. So guys, have a look. Dashboard is in. You've seen me do these a million times. Gone ahead and changed the driver airbag, passenger airbag, fastened it all in. Have a look at the big old gap that I've left here, and I've done that on purpose because I'm going to be installing this bad boy, and when I say bad boy, it really is. Have a look at the size of the screen. This is the F7 series from a company called ATOTO. If you want to get one of these, there's going to be a link down below, but this is packed with features and it's going to give the car CarPlay, Android Play, Bluetooth, it's going to give it sat-nav, it's going to give it so many features, and this is definitely going to add value. So let's get this in the car and then we're going to check out what this can do. The wiring for the system is quite simple. However, the Audi system uses a quad lock, whereas the radio is on an ISO based connection, so I had to get an ISO to quad lock adapter. Right guys, so it's actually the next day here and I've gone ahead and I've fitted this newly refurbished grille. Check it out. I went ahead and let it dry overnight. Have a look at the finish on that grille. I went ahead and I fit the Audi rings, as I said, and I put on the front license plate, and I think that that looks a million times better than it did before, and that's the whole point. Add value wherever you can, but more importantly, check out the system that I installed, and I've gone ahead and I've wired it all up with the ignition. So once I switch the ignition on, you can change whatever brand that you've got. So I've set it to Audi, so the Audi logo comes up straight away as soon as you switch it on. And I've gone ahead and I've plugged my phone into the USB slot that comes with the unit, and check that, as soon as you power up the car, Apple CarPlay starts up, and that means that I get to use my Google Maps, my regular maps. I can access my entire library from pressing that button right there, and it all plays, it all works. And look, the ease of functionality is so nice with this unit, and oh god, I just think it adds so much value to this vehicle already, and it's nice and solid in there. Let me know what you think of this car. Let me know what you think of the build. Let me know what you think of the system. If any of you guys want to grab one of these units, there's going to be a link down below, and there's going to be a discount code down below, thanks to the guys from ATOTO. But all in all, guys, let me know what you think of the build so far. I hope you're enjoying the way I'm putting these videos out. You're going to get a video every day, and in tomorrow's episode, it's all about final assembly on the front end, getting an amazing finish on this car before I put it up for sale. So I hope you join me for tomorrow's episode. If you're watching this here and not subscribed, smash that subscribe button. Make sure your bell notifications are set to on so you don't miss when I post. And if you enjoyed this episode, make sure you give me a thumbs up. So guys, this is where we're going to be ending this episode. I hope you enjoyed it, as I said, and I hope you join me for tomorrow's episode. So like I always say, keep it moving, and I'll see you in the next one.